So the news is on fire this morning. Today is July 1st, 2011. And I was listening to a radio talk show host here in Los Angeles on KFI this morning, and he was discussing this Dominique Strauss-Kahn alleged rape case and the history or the background of the accuser. So I thought I'd go online and take a look at the information and just get a read up on what's going on for myself. I pulled a few articles that I'm going to read from, and then I want you guys' opinion on what you think about this case. Have you already drawn a conclusion of guilt or innocence based on what you've read and seen in the news, or are you still holding out judgment on this case? Let's get started. This is from the beginning of when the allegations were first made. This article is from May 16th, 2011, and it is from the HuffingtonPost.com. The head of the International Monetary Fund was examined for evidence that could incriminate him in the alleged sexual assault of a hotel maid, charges that stunned the global financial world and upended French political or presidential politics. Dominique Strauss-Kahn, a married father of 4 whose reputation with women earned him the nickname the Great Seducer, faced arraignment Monday on charges of attempted rape and criminal sexual contact in the alleged attack on a maid who went into his penthouse suite at a hotel near Times Square to clean it up. Strauss-Kahn was taken into custody on Saturday and spent more than 24 hours inside a Harlem precinct where police say the maid identified him from a lineup, then headed to a hospital for a forensic examination requested by prosecutors to obtain more evidence in the case. In France on Monday, a lawyer for a woman who claims she was sexually assaulted by Strauss-Kahn 9 years ago says she now wants to file a legal complaint against the IMF head. Lawyer David Cabu told RTL Radio Monday that his client, Tristan Bannon, did not file suit earlier due to pressure over the alleged 2002 assault. He said she was dissuaded by her own mother. Cabu told RTL he is likely to file suit for Bannon now because she knows she'll be heard and she knows she'll be taken seriously. In France, public figures are usually shielded from view in such circumstances, and many were shocked on Monday to see images of the handcuffed Strauss-Kahn escorted and ducking stone-faced into a police car. Kahn Strauss, 62, was nabbed less than 4 hours after the alleged assault, plucked from his first-class seat on a Paris-bound Air France flight that was just about to leave the gate at JFK International Airport. He was alone when he checked into the luxury Sofitel Hotel not far from the Times Square on Friday afternoon, police said. It wasn't clear why he was in New York. The IMF is based in Washington, and he had been due in Germany on Sunday to meet with Chancellor Angela Merkel. It says the woman told police she fought him off, but then he dragged her into a bathroom where he forced her to perform oral sex on him and tried to remove her underwear. The woman was able to break free again, escaped the room, and told hotel staff what had happened. Strauss-Kahn was gone by the time the detectives arrived moments later. He left his cell phone behind. It looked like he got out of there in a hurry. The NYPD discovered he was at JFK and contacted officials at the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which runs the airport. Port Authority police officers arrested him. The maid was taken by police to a hospital and was treated for minor injuries. Strauss-Kahn was arrested on charges of a criminal sex act, attempted rape, and unlawful imprisonment. Authorities were looking for any forensic evidence and DNA. His wife, Anne Sinclair, defended him in a statement to French news agency AFP. "I do not believe for 1 second the accusations brought against my husband. I have no doubt his innocence will be established," said Sinclair, a New York-born journalist who hosted a popular weekly TV news broadcast in France in the late 1980s and 90s. In 2008, Strauss-Kahn was briefly investigated over whether he had an improper relationship with a subordinate female employee. The IMF board found his actions reflected a serious error of judgment, yet deemed the relationship consensual. But attempted rape charges are far more serious than extramarital flings and could do far more damage to his reputation in France and abroad. Perhaps this affair will unravel very quickly if we learn that there is in the end no serious charge and that what was said by this woman was not true, and we all wish for this, former Socialist Party boss François Hollande said on a Canal Plus television. To commit an act of such seriousness, this does not resemble the man I know. That was dated May 16th. So now we go on to May 23rd, and the headline is Dominique Strauss-Kahn DNA matched to samples from maid's shirt. Dominique Strauss-Kahn's DNA sample has been matched to material found on the clothing of the maid who claims that he allegedly assaulted her. Traces of the ex-IMF chief's sperm were reportedly found on the maid's dress. So what is it with these guys? I'm just wondering. Clinton left DNA traces on Monica Lewinsky's dress, and now we have this guy, Dominique Strauss, and he leaves DNA on the maid's uniform. Some people are referring to it as uniform, other people are referring to it as her dress. My question is still, why do these guys always leave DNA evidence? It's like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe some of you guys out there can answer that question, but it just doesn't make sense to me. The article goes on to say Strauss-Kahn's defense team has said the alleged assault may have been consensual. May have been consensual. Also keep in mind, people, for those of you who haven't read up on this case, is that this man was also a potential contender for the race for presidency against their current president, I believe his name is Sarkozy, President Sarkozy. So there's a lot of reason why they need this case to go away, provided that there is some legitimacy here, provided that this isn't just another affair, which his wife doesn't seem to have a problem with. If this is a legitimate accusation of rape, he is risking a lot by having this so very public, by having, especially, I mean, there's so many elements to this. The woman is not white. She's black. She's African. This happened here in the United States versus in France, where they seem to be a little bit more, I don't know, just for lack of a better word, kind of nonchalant about things. I don't know. He's running a great risk, and he has to provided that this is a legitimate allegation, tear apart this woman that's now accusing him of rape. Also keep in mind there is another woman out there that I just told you about, named Tristan, and she alleges that in 2002 he also assaulted her. So there may be some validity to these accusations, even though, I mean, we all have a past, even though this African woman may have a past. They're going to try to use, and that's what a good defense attorney does. They will use the victim's past to attack, and very well possibly get their clients off just based on the fact that the accuser has a dirty past or has issues, mental issues, social issues, economic issues that they can use against that person. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a true accusation, but that he got off based on the fact that this woman does not have clean hands. And so speaking of clean hands, we're going to go right into it. And this is from also the HuffingtonPost.com, dated for today, July 1st, 2011, at 11:27 a.m. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office will agree to the release of Dominique Strauss-Kahn without bail at a hearing Friday after it uncovered serious questions about the credibility of a hotel housekeeper who accused the former International Monetary Fund leader of sexual assault. A person familiar with the investigation has told the Associated Press. Investigators have come to believe that the woman lied about some of her activities in the hours around the alleged attack and about her own background, a law enforcement official told the AP on Thursday. Prosecutors think she lied about details on her application for asylum in the United States, including saying she had been raped in her native Guinea. She actually recounted the entire story to prosecutors and later said it was false, the official said. Prosecutors haven't necessarily reached a new conclusion about the allegations against Strauss-Kahn and have not decided whether to downgrade the charges, the official said. Investigators had earlier said they found traces of Strauss-Kahn's semen on the maid's uniform, indicating an encounter, and they haven't backed away from that. But the serious reduction in bail signals the case is not as strong as initially thought. If the case collapses, it could once again shape up the race for the French presidency. Strauss-Kahn, a prominent socialist, had been seen as a leading potential challenger to conservative President Nicolas Sarkozy in next year's elections, until the New York hotel allegations embarrassed Strauss-Kahn's party and led to his resignation from the IMF. Those who know Dominique Strauss-Kahn will not be surprised by this evolution of events, said one of his French lawyers. What he was accused of has no relation to his personality. It was something that was not credible.